Hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Cannon. I am your professor for Math 9. We are going to begin by going over, starting on Unit 6, Day 1 notes. Every single day of the notes, I'm going to go ahead and upload. I will send them to you in your Canvas shell. If you have any problems or issues, you can always email me and we can Zoom together. If you have any questions, my office hours are linked in my syllabus with the Zoom link. So please, if you have any questions, just email me. Even outside of the office hours, if you have questions and I can meet with you, or I will definitely email you back. But please don't hesitate to email me if you have any more questions from Alex or any of these notes. These will help you. They will help you. If you do not understand, please watch the notes. They are very, very helpful. And again, if you need any extra help, just let me know. Okay? I wanted to just come on just to welcome you to Math 9 and reach out, and please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I am here for you always. So I'm going to start by kind of going over the notes, and I will show you a couple of things that come with the notes that I upload. And let me switch over my camera so that I can show you that. So these are the notes. They should be uploaded on your modules page in Unit 6 in Canvas. You can download them and then print them out and then go over them with me while I'm doing it, or just watch the video. And if you feel comfortable with it, then it should be fine, just explaining to you what to do. Every single time you will see the Day 1 or Day 2 or Day 3 or so on and so forth, you're going to have these objectives here. It kind of shows you what we're going through, what the things in Alex linked to. So if all of these right here will have basically problems that go with them. So let's start out on Unit 6, Day 1 notes. So I have put stars next to the ones that we're going to go over. The ones without stars, try them on your own. And if you get caught up and you don't really know how to solve them, I will show you and give you the answers on your Canvas shell. There also is going to be a key there. So please go ahead and look those up, but try them on your own first. That'll help you out a little bit. So starting at the beginning, -6 raised to the 3rd power. Again, this is just the stars to show these are the ones that we're going to go over on our notes together. And the other ones we're going to kind of leave alone and let you work them out on your own and then use the key to check. So -6 raised to the 3rd power. Now, when you have a negative and no parentheses, your answer, no matter what, will always be negative. So basically, essentially, what this is saying is -6, negative on the outside, and then 6 3 times, as you see here. So it is not -6 3 times. It's just the negative is on the outside, it comes straight down, and then the 6 is raised to the 3rd power. So if you can either put this in your calculator, do this in your brain the long way, because you can use a calculator, and this is the only calculator that you can use. It is a Texas Instrument TI-30X2S. This is like at Walmart. I think I bought it for $12. So these are the only calculators that are approved to use in this course, and you're going to need this all the way up even to pre-calc. So if you have to take that class, this is a very good investment, $12 at Walmart. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator. I'm going to put the negative. I pushed a little negative sign here, and then in order to raise something to a power, okay, all you have to do is click this little caret sign, the little up sign, and I'm going to raise it to the 3rd power. And then when I push enter, it'll give me my answer. As I said, your answer is always going to be negative when the negative is on the outside of the parentheses. So my answer there is -216. You can use your calculator. We're going to be using this very heavily. I would highly suggest that you get one. It is going to be very, 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 very useful for you, especially now when we come back into the buildings. So please get one of these, okay? All right, so let's go to the next one. Again, this one is -2 raised to the third power. So basically what this is saying is -2 is now repeated 3 times, okay? It's different than this one right here. As you can see, the negatives on the outside, and it's basically just saying 6 is raised to the third power. In this particular situation, -2 is raised to the third power. So it's definitely different. But let's see. We're going to put our parentheses, okay? I start with my parentheses. I'm going to put -2, and then I'm putting that in parentheses, and I'm raising that to the third power. That is going to equal to -8. So right here, -8, I'm going to go ahead and circle this one. That's my answer. -8 is my answer, but why would that be negative? As opposed to, and this one is also negative. That's because this is an odd number. If your exponent is odd and it's in parentheses with a negative, your answer is always going to be negative. If this exponent was even, then your answer will be positive. So in this case, that'll kind of give you, even although you're using your calculator, please make sure you understand the concepts, because then you'll know when your calculator is giving you the wrong answer, or you put something in wrong and you got the wrong answer. Okay, let's look at this one. This one, again, -3 raised to the 4th power. What is raised to the 4th power? The 3, not the negative. If it was in parentheses, then it'd be -3, -3, -3. In this case, the negative is on the outside. 3 is raised to the 4th power. 3 is going to be repeated 4 times. So let's go ahead and put that in our calculators. Again, negatives on the outside, no parentheses. And it's going to be 3 raised to, just like I said, that's your little raised to the 4th power. So my answer here, -81. Okay, -81 is my answer there. All right, so let's move down to the bottom. Okay, the bottom here. Now, what is it saying? -4/3 is raised to the 2nd power. Okay, and it's all in parentheses. So basically what is being raised to the 2nd power is -4/3. So we're going to write it twice because that's what the exponent means there. All right. So we are writing that twice. So how would that look when your answer, as it says here, write your answer as a fraction. Okay. How would that look on your calculator? So I'm going to, again, on my calculator, put in this problem so that I can get, but my answer, I want my answer as a fraction. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that here. You're going to put parentheses, -4. Now, I don't know if you use this in your other class, but we're going to push this little button here. This little backwards L comes in. So this button is the button that I'm looking at. I just want to make sure you understand. A, B/C, it's right here. This little button is right above the sign key. A, B/C, that's what it is. And it gives you a little backwards L. That's the button I'm going to use there. And that will be my fraction. So instead of a fraction, it looks like this, -4, and then it has the little backwards L and the 3. That represents this. But when it gives me an answer, it's going to give me an answer that's a fraction as opposed to an answer that's a decimal. Okay? So now I'm going to, again, use my little caret button. I'm going to raise it. And again, the caret button is this button here. This is raising something to a power. It's right over the x² button. The button right over the x² button is your caret. You're going to be raising that to the 2nd power. And then once you get your answer is going to be in the form of a fraction. So our answer is 1 7/9. Okay, 1 7/9 is our answer there. And again, it's because I use that little I use the little A, B button. That's why my answer became a fraction as opposed to a decimal. So if you take exactly what you did, so you took the answer that you got. Let me try to do that again really quickly because I kind of got out of it. Okay, so what if I wanted my answer in an improper fraction, meaning that the bigger number is up top as opposed to a mixed number? I would push that little button again. So now that I have my answer, you have to have your answer up. So I'm keeping this answer up. 1 7/9 is my answer, but I want my answer as an improper fraction. I'm going to push that little A, B, C button again. Okay, and ooh, we didn't do it. Hold on, sorry. 4 divided by 3. Four. All right, guys. This is like being in regular class. Like, you know, everything doesn't happen the way that you want it to. Technology. Okay, so I'm going to push. I'm sorry. I'm going to push the second button first, and then I'm going to push that little AB. Okay, and it looks a little weird up here, but it will give you the answer that you want. It's 16/9. Okay, so this is your answer. It's a mixed number. This is the improper fraction of that answer. Depending on what they ask you for, if they wanted a fraction on Alex, they could ask you for the mixed number like this, and you know how to do that in Alex, or they might ask you for the improper fraction. Both are correct. Okay, both are correct. So that's how to do it on your calculator. Let's try this problem. We are going to first write it out. 3 is at the top. If you're hopefully you have this printed out, it's 5/3 at the bottom. So 5 raised to the 3rd power is 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. How do we do that? Go ahead and push the 3. And again, the AB button, the little AB button, I'm going to push it. And I'm raising 5 to the 3rd power. So this is what it looks like. Okay, 5 raised to the 3rd power. When I push enter, it gives me 27 over 125. That is my answer. 27 over 125 is my answer there. And again, they want your answer as a fraction. So that's how you get the answer as a fraction there. Last one on this page. Let's try again. It's going to be actually -3 over, and it says 2 squared, and 2 squared is 2 times 2. And again, you really don't have to do this part. You can just put it straight in your calculator, but I kind of wanted to show you what it looks like when it's written out. So -3, and then instead of dividing, we're going to put that little backwards L, and 2 squared. 2, you can actually just push the squared button there. Okay, I push this little X squared button, and it squares something. But if I want to raise something to a higher power, I have to push the caret. So then I'm going to push enter. My answer is -2 and 1/4. That's the answer as a mixed number. How would I put that in as an improper fraction? Second, and then that AB, and push enter. Negative, or you can also make it -9 over 4. That is also your answer. So there that is for the first page. Let's turn this over. And again, all these pages are going to be uploaded into your Canvas shell. This is Unit 6, Day 1 notes. So it's going to be uploaded into your Canvas shell. Now, for this one, it wants you to evaluate the expression when B is -3. So as you can see here, B squared, I'm going to put it, and I always do, in parentheses when I replace it, when I evaluate it. I'm putting it in parentheses plus 5 times -3. I'm replacing B with -3 minus 4. I'm putting that straight in my calculator. I'm going to put all of that in my calculator and get my answer, because they want you to evaluate. They want you to get an answer there. So I'm putting in parentheses -3 squared, and then I'm squaring it. I'm just using the X squared button, plus 5 times -3. I'm just going to put it parentheses -3 right next to it, and then minus 4. Okay, and it's kind of moving everything over. When I push enter, my answer is -10. That is the answer I'm going to put there. Pretty simple, okay? Again, these calculators, so important and very, very useful, okay? So here, now, this is where yes, you can use calculator, but it's not going to give you the true answer because you have numbers and letters. And when you have numbers and letters right next to each other, that means they're multiplied. But in this case, it says it wants you to multiply 4 times 7a. 4 times 7, we know is 28. And then the a part, we just put beside it. That's all they want. They want to make sure that you understand that when you're multiplying two numbers or a number that has a letter, you just multiply the numbers together, leave the letter alone, okay? So in this particular case, 7c times 4 is the other one we did. This one is going to be 28c. Again, 4 times 7 times 4, and then just go ahead and put that letter beside it. And if I did this one, x times 2, this becomes 2x, okay? So I just wanted to show you that once you're multiplying, the numbers do multiply together, and then you're just going to add the letter next to it, okay? Let's move on to this one at the bottom. If you have the parentheses, you're distributing here. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed all that whole row. Let's go up here. Well, let's just start down here since I'm already starting there. If there's a negative on the outside, you're distributing. You're just multiplying this negative by everything. And what happens there with the distributive property, and I know you've seen it in the other math 3 and math 5, you should have already seen the distributive property. The negatives, all you're doing is changing the sign. This becomes negative 6w plus 2b plus 2. That's your answer there. All I did was change every sign, everything sign changed, and that is all they want from you. You cannot combine unlike terms. You can't combine w's and b's and regular numbers, which are constants. You can't combine unlike terms. So that's your answer there. That's all they want you to do. Remove the parentheses like it says in the directions. Here, distribute to 6. This becomes 6u minus 6 times 10, which is 60. This is your answer. Cannot combine these two because they are unlike terms. Let's go this way for the distributive property on this one. This becomes 5 times b, 5b, minus 5 times 4 is 20. I'm keeping the sign the same. And again, can't combine them. They're unlike terms. Finally, this one here is a negative 7, if you can see it. Let's distribute. When you're multiplying by a negative, it changes the sign of everything. Let's see what that does. Negative 7 times negative 4b cubed is going to be positive 28b cubed. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. And again, if you see this here, even though it says plus times a minus, if this number is negative, I'm going to make that a subtraction sign as opposed to plus negative. So if the number becomes negative, just put a subtraction sign, and that means that this number is negative. And then the negative 7 times negative w squared becomes positive 7w squared. So that is our answer there. Okay, good. There goes. Moving on. All right, so at the top, again, we're doing exactly what we just did, but the only difference here is we're going to have to combine the like terms. So for this particular one, we're multiplying 3 times 2w and then 3 times 3. So 3 times 2w becomes 6w. 3 times 3 is 9. I made a plus. I kept it the same. Minus 11 stayed the same there at the end. But now we have to combine the like terms. We actually have like terms here. So the 6w's by itself, it does not have any like terms. Now, if you have a positive 9 and a negative 11, of course, you're going to be subtracting because they're two different signs. And again, if you don't feel comfortable, put it on in your calculator. And if you do, just go ahead and do it in your brain. The answer there is negative 2. Okay, 9 minus 11, negative 2. And again, don't feel ashamed to use this tool. Okay, do not feel ashamed to use this tool. I'd rather you get it correct than to feel ashamed to use it. All right, so just get the correct answer and don't feel ashamed. Use it as much as you need it. All right, let's go on to the next start. Negative 4 times w, negative 4 times 4. And again, here, look at this one. Negative 3 times w negative 3 times 5. So we're distributing two different situations going on here, okay? So negative 4 times W is negative 4W. Negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. Negative 3 times W, negative 3W. And negative 3 times 5, negative 15. We are, just like we did here, we're combining like terms. This one, negative 4W goes with negative 3W. So the sign in front of it belongs to it. So negative 16, negative 15. Let's combine those like terms. Do not feel ashamed to use your calculator. Use it as much as you need it, especially if you can. So we're going negative 4 minus 3. That's how we got negative 4 and negative 3 became negative 7W. And then negative 16 minus 15 became negative 31. So it's minus 31. Okay, so negative 7W minus 31 is your answer. Why is that minus right there? Because the 31 is negative. If the 31 was positive, it'd be a plus right there. Okay, so that's what confuses people so much. That second number, if it's negative, the minus goes in the middle. If it's positive, it's plus. All right, let's go here. Same situation. We're going to distribute both of these, and then distribute that middle one. And they always want to try to put that minus in it to make you kind of confused, but you will not be. So negative 2 times negative 2y is positive 4y. Negative 2 times negative z is positive 2z. Negative 5 times negative 7z is positive 35z. And negative 5 times positive 5y is negative 25y. And we're going to combine those two like terms, 4y and negative 25y, 2z, 35z. Okay? So when you combine those, you are going to get negative 21y, okay, plus, and then 35 plus 2 is 37z. That is going to be your answer. You can't combine those two because they have two different letters there. Okay. All right. Let's move along. Simplify the following expression for this. Make sure you're reading directions before, especially once you move into your test situation. You do not want to miss a problem just because you didn't read the directions. So here, all you're doing is combining like terms. The ones that are like terms, negative 15x squared and negative 5x squared, these are like terms. And then you have negative 11x, positive 13x. And then the fourth by itself, it looks like. Nothing goes with that. Okay? So I'm going to combine the ones that are like negative 15x squared and negative 5x squared. They're both negative. That means it's going to be negative 20x squared. Okay, then I have the negative 11 and positive 13x. Okay, so for that particular one, you know you're going to subtract them because one is positive and one is negative. So your answer there is going to be positive 2x. All right, don't feel uncomfortable. Do what you got to do to get the answer. Negative 11 plus 13 becomes positive 2x. And then add 4. Why? Because it's by itself. It doesn't combine with anything. So your answer there, is negative 20x squared plus 2x plus 4. Okay. Same thing here. Combine like terms. Negative 5x squared, negative 9x squared. They have the x squared. They're together. Look at this one. This one is actually by itself this time. 8x doesn't have a partner. And then the 3 and the negative 4. Don't forget to take the sign in front of it. So negative 5x squared, negative 9x squared, it becomes negative 14x squared. And then the 8x is by itself. And then 3 minus 4 becomes negative 1. So that is your answer for that particular one. Okay? Try the other ones on your own. Finally, last couple here. We're going to actually be solving for x. We're solving equations. So let's go ahead and I always put these little lines in front. Whatever you do on this side of the line, you have to do the same thing on this side of the line. and equations can get really crazy. So please make sure that you're taking your time on these. And by Math 9, you should already have done many equations. So let's go ahead and solve this. I would first start by distributing, okay? 9x minus 21. What am I doing? Come on, girl, come on. 9x minus 21, 27, sorry. I really am not a math genius. I'm just a teacher. I've taught this for many, many years, 14 years. I've taught mathematics, but I always tell my students, I am not a math genius. I make mistakes all of the time, and you will see that in all these videos. But no matter what, I always worked hard, and I got my degree in mathematics when no one saw that coming. So it is what it is. So, and I make mistakes, but I do try to go back and fix them when I can. But yeah, especially with simple mathematics. And honestly, I'm a math teacher here at Thomas Nelson, but in my day job, I'm a librarian. That's like a special little thing that you should know about me. But anyway, so over here, I didn't do anything, so I'm just going to bring down exactly what I have there. So now that I have this, and I usually do everything the same way so I don't get confused, I usually bring this, if there's a letter here, I try to bring it here. If there's a number here, I try to bring it on the other side. So I'll bring the letter, I will subtract the 9x. I usually do the same thing every time. That's what makes it much, much easier for me. And if there's a number here, if it's positive or negative, I would subtract it. If it's positive, I'll subtract. If it's subtraction, I would add. So I would do it on the same time, on the same line. So now it cancels out there. This cancels out here. 2x minus 9x becomes negative 7x. Okay. And then, because I'm not going to do this in my head, although I probably could, it's 70. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in my calculator. Negative 27, okay, minus 43 is negative 70, okay? So negative 70 is there. So now I'm going to divide by negative 7 on both sides. So your x is going to be equal to negative 70 divided by 7, which looks like positive 10. Okay? Divided by negative 7 is positive 10. Got it. Good. So your x equals positive 10 there. Let's try this one. Again, start with the distributive property. 9w plus 12 equals negative 8w minus, what is it, 56. Negative 8 times 7 is negative 56. Okay? Now you are going to do what? You are going to, again, add. I usually get the w's on this side. Whatever's on this side, I'll do the opposite. Add 8w on both sides. And this is positive 12. Okay, this is positive 12. I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. So I usually do the same thing every time as I did there. So 9 plus 8, your 9 plus 8 is 17. And then you are going to do negative 56 minus 12. Okay, negative 56 minus 12. Or negative 56 plus negative 12, whichever makes you feel comfortable. I would do minus only because then it helps you understand. But negative 56 and negative 12, when you add those together, you get negative 68. And then, of course, I'm going to have to divide this by 17 to get the w by itself. Okay. And my answer is negative 4. So my answer for w is negative 4. I have this one, but I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own. Do this one by yourself. We did these two. You can do this one by yourself. Okay. The answer will be on the key that I upload into the Canvas shell. So that's it for today. Well, for Unit 6, Day 1 notes. And we'll be coming back with Unit 6, Day 2 notes soon. Have a great night.